I'm Jonas, and this is Sublime Media, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. I don't take it for granted. This is part 2 of sort of a series that I have started exploring sort of the private pressed records in my collection. So I'm calling this like 5 private pressed records or something like that. Nowadays I feel like the thing that really tickles my tummy the most is private pressed records. There's such the rabbit hole is so deep, and there's as a collector I think it's super cool to explore this sort of records and genre and stuff like that. So mostly private pressed records from the States, but in this case venturing a little bit south from that. Let's get into it. Okay. Oh yeah, and if you don't know what a private pressed record is, watch my first video. I'll put a something up here so you can check that out. I talk a little bit about the sort of phenomenon private pressed records in the beginning of that video. So yeah, jumping right into it. Subscribe if you haven't. Give a comment if you know any of these records, because these are not common records. If you know these records, please share about your impression of them, and if you have them, stories, let's get the discussion going. I'm gonna start out with the first 2 records. It's by the same band, and these are like super nuggets of private pressed records, and they are not expensive. They are really cheap. I think that they pressed a lot of these. The music quality, production, songwriting, everything is top notch, and I urge everyone to check them out and get themselves some copies if you can. This is Charmer, the first record that they released in 1980. So this was 1980. I think the next one is 1981. So Charmer is from Louisiana, USA, and it was mainly a trio of musicians in this constellation. I think that two others backed them up on some tracks. But this Charmer record is definitely more on the folkier side of things. But what Charmer has that many other private pressed bands from this time period doesn't have is a magnificent production. The production value is way high, really cool, and highly recommend. Like a €30 record, something like that. And this is not a heavy record at all. So this is a very sort of straight up soft rock pop record, maybe with more folk leanings than anything else, I think. So that's the first one. The more popular second one, because I think that it was some songs from this has been used on compilations of old Americana, stuff like that, and this is also still in shrink. So this Must Be the Gypsy. Again, great backside. And if the first one was more in the folk sort of tradition and vein, this is definitely more in the soft rock or rock vein. They even dabble with synthesizers on this one, and the production level is even 2 or 3 notches up again on this one. If you should, and you should, sample one song, I would go for It's Never Too Late on the second side. That is the one that was used on, I don't know if it was Now and Again Records that did a compilation or something like that. This time the red label, but the same sort of logo, and also Rapids Records. Then after this, they changed record label. I think they produced 5 records as Charmer, something like that. I have no idea how the other sounds. And then they ventured into another group, and they are still active today, actually. So yeah. But again, like maybe €40 record, €30-40 record, something like that, and well worth the money. Definitely, in my opinion. But check it out first before you venture out and buy it. Okay, the next one. In my last video in this series, I actually showed a record that I didn't recommend, and that was a good example of something that all private press records isn't like fantastic and great and stuff like that. This is a little bit like that, but this is definitely a keeper. I would say that sample the 2 first songs. If that's your thing, and I think it's many people's thing actually. I would go for it because this is dirt cheap, like 15 euro or something like that, and that is pretty cool for a private press record from 1981. You can buy them still sealed, you know. And I'm talking about Toucan. So this is a band from Washington, but I mean, this is a southern rock record if there ever was one. Really, really cool. And it's, I think that what this lacks is a little bit of an edge. It's a little bit too polished, and the music is a little bit too straightforward. So let me play my music. The first song, it's a little bit boundary sappy, but I really like it. I think it's a good tune. So yeah, but if you listen to that, if that's definitely not your bag, or it doesn't grow on you, I mean, I wouldn't go for this record, even if it's a cheap one. So I bought this sealed dead stock copy, and I'm really glad I did. So definitely a keeper. Toucan, 1981, Washington. Yeah, great one. So the next one, this is what I live for. I bought this sealed. This is the sort of, to sum everything up in collecting private press record, you could show this record because it's super obscure. No one has ever seen a copy, you know, that kind of record, and when you listen to it, it's just like mind bending. And how could this not be more known? So this is Deerfield, Il Desperandum, from 1971. So pretty early one. Put out by themselves, the group. So this is a group from Texas, and it's definitely sound a little bit like that. But to compare it with something, I would say that it's like a fuzzy Buffalo Springfield. So it has that sort of southern song qualities to it, but it goes more wild, more heavy, more out there in a way. I mean, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young also comes to mind with the vocal harmonies and stuff like that. You have Moby Grape maybe, and Country Own the Fish, something like that. Like if those bands are something that tickles your tummy, then this is definitely something to check out. Definitely 60 psychedelic influences also. There's not a bad track in my opinion, maybe one dull one, but most of them are really killer. And if you want to check one track out, it's on YouTube, so you can go sample it. I would go for the long track on the B-side, the Trilogy, which is like a one big suit. I think that sums up the entire record, but it's 12 minutes long or something like that. So, but it has all genres, you know, and it flexes their music quality and stuff like that. So yeah, on flat rock. So if the other ones are more like, yeah, you should check it out, sample it, if you like it, maybe buy it. This is a little bit more expensive, but I'll like go for it. This is killer stuff. Highly recommended. And last but not least, this is also a very rare one. I know that Dylan from Noble Records has had this on his Holy Moly wall. Sold it. Got this sealed also. It's such a good record. And at times it actually reminds me of Donnie and Joe Emerson's Dreaming Wild record. But what this is a private press Jesus record from Mexico. So let that sink in for a bit. And it looks like this. I'm gonna slaughter the name here. This is Renacimiento. And it's more or less like this guy, Philip J. Watkins. He was born in Mexico, moved to the US, found Jesus, and I think they recorded it in California, but I think that he moved to Mexico later on, and they were on this sort of the path of making a record that sounded of the day, like 1978, this is 78, mid-70s, let's say in the mid-70s, that spoke to the next generation, the young people, you know. So he wanted to do a Jesus record, that was for the youth of the day. Now, this is entirely in Spanish, so I have no idea, because I don't talk Spanish. So I have no idea what they sing about. But the presence and the feelings and sort of the vibe of the entire record is just like really, really good. The first song, just sample the first song. If that's not your bag, then you have to be like carried away in a body bag. It's such a great tune. I mean, this is to find this record, to find this stuff, it's just amazing. So I don't know how I stumbled upon this and put this on my want list, and finally getting it just like as a private press collector. This is what you seek. This is the thing of magic. So yeah, check it out. And that's it. 5 records, 5 private press records from my collection. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment if you know any of these, because they are not common. So most of you don't know about that music at all. And if something intrigued you, go to YouTube. Everything is out there. You can sample and listen for yourself, and then go to the comments and tell me what you thought. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Yeah, have a great day.